welcome to the No Format Podcast Halloween special. Yes, we're back to lift your spirits, and we're dying to have a fun time. You're welcome, Charlie.
I enjoyed that.
So with me, as you've just heard, it's Charlie.
Hello.
I don't know why I just put a button in my mouth the moment I stopped introducing you, so I'm sure I'm going to be talking again soon.
That's what I did say. Did you want to eat them before we started recording?
And the answer was no, but I thought I'd have more time. For some reason, didn't think about it. So that's the reason for my chewing in the middle of that.
It's weird because that isn't even a chocolate button. That's just a button off your shirt.
So yes, we're back with a Halloween special. We've only been gone a week, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we decided, sod it. We'll come back for a one-off. I say come back. We're planning on coming back. We've got a load more episodes planned. We're just having a season break so we can record some more. So the plan today is we're going to watch some short films on YouTube, short horror films, should I say, and talk about them afterwards. Before we get started on that, sort of like, are you big into your horror films, Charlie?
I am, yeah. I didn't used to like them, and then I started watching them because, well, my current wife, as in I'm going to have a different wife, but she quite liked them, so I used to go to the cinema with her because she liked them, and I wasn't that bothered. But actually, I got quite into them. I mean, I don't believe in ghosts or anything, but I still enjoy them. Still enjoy them. And I particularly like the ones that are based on true stories. They're my sort of favourite ones because it adds a bit of more believability. Is that a word?
Yeah, I get what you're on about.
Yeah. What about you?
Not really watched a huge amount, but I do enjoy the ones I've been watching recently.
Yeah.
I got into them last year more than anything. I decided, never watched Halloween. Let's watch Halloween.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'd watched a documentary about the making of it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, and then binged every Halloween film that came after it, no matter how bad they were.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I've watched loads of horror films,
Hmm.
but the ones I've watched I have enjoyed, and they don't terrify me.
No.
You talking about ghosts though has reminded me of I was going to talk about at one point when we were sort of planning what this Halloween special was going to be. I thought, maybe we could sort of share ghost stories and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you this ghost story that's literally just popped back into my head.
Okay.
I remember waiting outside the Odeon in Bristol, waiting for my friend to go see a film. I can't remember what film.
Yeah.
And some ghost talk walked past me.
Okay. Do you think that you were a ghost?
I was stood right. You know how they've got posters outside each cinema?
Yeah.
Advertising films.
Yeah.
They stopped outside one of them and started talking. Basically, apparently behind that poster is three or four bullet holes. Can't remember how many said. Don't know how true that part is.
Okay.
Apparently back in 1948, I believe.
Yeah.
The Odeon was still there.
Yeah.
And it was showing a Rudyard Kipling film, something Lights Out or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And it's a war film.
Okay.
And obviously, being in the cinema, you're drawn into it, gunshots and everything.
Yeah.
And then after the film had sort of finished, obviously the moviegoers went out and the staff sort of cleaned up and then went to go see the manager, who was in the office dead.
Oh,
He'd been shot 3 times, but the gunshots in the film.
Everyone thought it was part of the film.
That.
Perfect. Well, not perfect, but
yeah,
a perfect way to cover a shooting, I suppose.
So no one knew why it happened. Nothing had been taken. It's just this apparently really nice guy was just shot really randomly.
Okay.
And I believe the Odeon closed for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then reopened eventually back in 1997 or 8 when Godzilla, Matthew Broderick's.
Oh yeah. And then
Matthew Broderick's version came out.
Yeah.
Reopened for that. This is what I was told in the ghost story. I don't know how true any of this is, obviously.
Yeah.
Opened, and during the screening, everyone complained, was feeling really cold.
Yeah.
Felt just randomly cold. This was in Screen 3.
Yeah.
Which was the film that Screen 3 was the screen that was open when the manager was shot.
Yeah.
The jewellers also, at the time of the film being shown and everyone getting cold, reported that all of his jewellery started shaking about.
Oh, okay.
Mysteriously wobbling.
Yeah.
And then everyone was film was over, didn't think much of it apart from the fact they were randomly chilly and left the building.
Okay.
Except for one guy. So the staff came in and was excuse me sir, you need to leave. Apparently he was just stood there or sat there watching the TV screen.
Okay.
Or cinema screen. I was sir, film's over, you need to leave. And apparently he just sunk into the chair.
Oh really?
And vanished. Yeah.
So everyone thinks it's the guy that was shot.
Exactly.
Okay.
Screen 3 in the Odeon Bristol does not do any showings past 7 o'clock.
Oh really?
And everyone who goes in there has someone else that they go in with.
Okay.
And no females go in alone because apparently he only appears to women.
Oh really? How bizarre.
really spooky.
That is strange. I'm surprised, like, a big corporation like Odeon would, like, allow them to sort of let them just do the, like, no showings after 7 o'clock, because, like, how much money they'd probably lose
only
out.
in Screen 3.
Well, I don't know, but even in Screen 3, you'd think you'd lose, like, that's
Yeah.
probably potentially 1 or 2 showings, maybe, but...
Yeah.
Oh.
So it is true that I can guarantee you that there's no screenings in Screen 3, and I've also heard 2 members of staff talking about...
Oh, no, I believe what you're saying. I'm just surprised. Like, I don't know, I'd have thought some, like, chief executive at Odeon wouldn't, like, believe in anything like that, but
yeah,
okay.
there's a little ghost story to get our Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Off.
See, I don't have any ghosts. I've never experienced anything like. There's one, not as long a story as yours, but my mum and dad did a ghost tour, like probably similar to the one that you were saying about then, in a city, and they went past this place and they said it was like an old. It wasn't a house, but it was down sort of an alleyway and like built like office block building kind of thing. I think it was an office block now. Anyway, they used to sort of get complaints of like hearing like babies crying and thing. Anyway, it turned out that it was obviously hundreds of years ago, whatever, it was a brothel. And anyway, they did some excavation work on it, or they were redoing the building, and they found like loads of kind of basically babies' corpses. Anyway, they sort of excavated them.
Excavated, yes.
And then sort of took them out and then reburied them, and then after that they stopped. So they reckon that it was the ghosts of potential babies that were from like kind of backstreet abortions from the brothel.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it was.
Yeah. One other horror story I got to tell you about.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll get on with the actual main feature. I did a ghost tour. I was actually part of this ghost tour in Exeter.
Yeah.
Turns out Exeter doesn't have a huge amount of ghost stories that there are available, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So at one point we walked past the NatWest Bank.
Okay.
And the guy giving the tour started telling us about Herbert the ghost that randomly appears to people who walk past in the middle of the night. Sometimes, if you look really closely, you're able to see like his poltergeisty sort of like behaviours. So he gets everyone to like peer into NatWest.
Yeah.
Suddenly the TV turns on in the corner of the room. Oh god! You turn around to look at him. He's just putting the TV remote back into his pocket. So yeah, that made me laugh. How bad it was.
Yeah. I love a good ghost story. I love like the ones of like maritime ones, like of ships that have. What's that? There's a famous ship where it's like I forgot what it's called. It's like a famous ghost ship. Is it Mary Celeste? No, it's
I'm not sure if I'm honest.
But basically, the crew all vanished and then the ship appeared. Like them kind of stories. I do like. Yeah.
Right. Should we crack on with?
Yes, let's
this?
crack on.
So we picked 5 short films. All of them except for one are under 5 minutes long. And one of them's 20 minutes long.
Okay.
So the first one was picked by you, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called The Cop Cam. You can find all these on YouTube, like I say. We'll put links possibly to everything in the description, so if you want to follow them then. So apparently Cop Cam, should we watch it and then possibly give a little... Yeah, we'll watch it and then we'll review it.
Okay.
So, going to watch it. I don't know how we're going to do this. You'll probably see us up the other side.
Yeah.
Shows up with 95 out all day over.
I thought it was a bat then.
A bat?
Well, I think it looks only
okay.
That's all.
Which one there?
Police department, anybody in here? Show your hands. Make yourself known.
Well, I thought, I'm going to jump in my seat any second.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Right now. Trinidad King 1, did you copy that?
So he jumped there. That was literally like 2 minutes and 12 seconds long.
Yeah, very short.
Good. We're good though.
Yeah, remember the jump scare, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like very much. You knew something was going to happen.
Yeah.
But you didn't know when.
No, I know. I didn't dare. Well, I was kind of eating while I was watching it. I thought this isn't a good idea because I always think I'm going to like start choking when I jump. But...
I really wanted to drink halfway through it, but I was like, nope, wasn't worth it. Don't want to ruin Charlie's furniture.
So, are we going to say what happened or just a brief description of what it was?
Yeah, I'd say we say what happens. Like, if you're interested in watching,
Yeah.
obviously go and watch it now. Like we say, they're only 2
Yeah, yeah.
minutes long, so
Yeah.
it's not going to take. If you listen to the podcast, 2 minutes of your life isn't going to be ruined
No.
now by doing that. So you've gone and watched it. And yeah, so if you haven't gone and watched it, and you just want us to describe it, it's about basically cop cam footage of like this house, isn't there?
It's like a bit of a creepy abandoned house, like bungalow thing.
And he's sort of exploring it. At one point, I thought, like, he looked into the bathroom, and I thought something was going to be here behind that shower curtain. And then he goes into a room, and there's like, he hears whimpering, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I say, yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
a
it's like a whimpering.
it's whimpering, and there's a body covered. I'd say there's like blood coming out the head area.
Yeah, with a sheet. It's like a white sheet over it.
Yeah, but it's not moving.
No.
And then suddenly, as he turns around, there's someone there.
And then I thought, well, and then he sort of the light sort of flashes, doesn't it? And he sort of calls on the radio for backup, I think, and then then you just see the body camera on the floor, don't you?
Yeah.
And whatever that thing is, sort of, you don't see a face, do you?
No, it's obviously attacked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, went with the sort of like creepy style jump scare at the end.
I feel like we could do a film like that.
Mm.
Like, there's not much to it. There's no real special effects there. Like, there's no somebody creeping about on a wall or anything like that. It was dead simple, but quite effective, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's all done on like a GoPro, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very. Yeah. All you'd need is an abandoned house.
Well, yeah. Probably plenty of them around.
Yeah, exactly. Right, should we move on to our next film?
Yes, sure.
This is one. So I picked the next 3 films. So I figured we'd leave the last one to a long film.
Yeah.
So this is called. This is a film that was who was it made by? I can't remember now. But there's a film called Lights Out. Like a full feature length film. There it is. David F. Sandberg. And yeah, film Lights Out, feature length film. But this is the short that he did for a Who's There film challenge beforehand. So we're going to watch that now. So if you search Lights Out, Who's There film challenge 2030.
Looking back at old camera photos, I
didn't realise I had the Google Pixel 7 in 2013.
I look dreadful.
Don't get the Google Pixel, not worth it.
When I take a photo using this
photo, now we've mentioned Google Pixel twice, and there's an advert playing, you might be able to get some royalties for it.
This isn't paid. Who's There a horror film short challenge? Okay. Oh, that's
gonna get closer. Looks like an alien thing.
Right, oh, was it there?
I think so.
God, that actually made me jump. Don't do it again, dear.
I don't know, you could go to sleep like that.
Don't like it, Charlie.
It's the anticipation knowing that it's going to happen.
But the lights are just turned.
I've got to turn the lights off in here.
I'm glad you.
Alexa, lights off. I don't even have an Alexa.
I'll walk home alone, yeah.
I'd avoid it through that abandoned warehouse.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. What was that?
Alexa, lights on.
That one actually scared me.
Yeah, that was a bit creepy.
It was the creepiness of it.
I tell you what, these ones are like, it's kind of like they get to the best part of the film.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no sort of like build up to it. It's like straight in horror, scare.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
But that was good. At first I wasn't too sure. I thought it was a bit...
The way she kept on just flicking like on, off. Like, alright, like, just get on with it. And then it's like, oh shit. It's like when it actually appeared right next to her, whatever it was like subtle. But yeah.
Good. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
I found that one more... I found that a bit more scary than the last one.
Yeah, 100%. There was a lot of suspense.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The fact that I'm not going to be able to turn off the lights.
What's up next?
Right, next one. Bloody Mary horror short.
Alexa, lights off.
Get out of your comfort food zone with Rivera.
But first, a message from our sponsors.
What's the same dish when you can make every plate delish with a range of tasty plant-based
just like that, what's it called? So you deliver the food and you make it yourself.
The story of Bloody Mary actually terrified me. Are you afraid of the dark? I swear they did a story on it.
Okay.
And honestly, like the idea of this right now is just bringing back nightmares from my youth.
You're going to be traumatized.
And I was the one who picked this one.
Bloody Mary.
They do it.
Bloody Mary.
Beetlejuice.
Bloody Mary.
She's let her guard down now.
Yeah. A lot of creaky doors.
Someone needs to get some WD-40 over it.
That could be a good sponsor for a horror film.
Yeah, I'm back.
Sound like someone doing a cat impression. Doesn't even sound like a real cat.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. That looked like her. That was like a bit.
There was
weird.
only one actress credited, so
Okay.
I think it was.
I wonder if it was purposely meant to look like her. Is that the whole? What is Bloody Mary anyway? I've heard of it, but I've heard of Bloody Mary, but I don't really know what it is.
Can we turn the light back on?
Okay. Alexa, light on. Alexa, light on. See, I don't have an Alexa. It's just we have a poltergeist called Alexa that turns the lights on and off.
Very, very helpful. No, I don't know much about Bloody Mary or what
Okay.
it is. But in terms of the whole idea of the sort of legend, lore, what's the word I'm thinking of here? We'll go with legend. It's if you say Bloody Mary 3 times into the mirror, she'll appear and kill you.
Okay. Why would you do that though?
For shits and gigs.
That is,
Just to prove you can.
yeah, I don't know about that. I wouldn't risk. Like my mum once said she did a what's it called, a Ouija board.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think she does believe in some sort of thing, but she said like she did it and she's like she wouldn't do it again.
Really?
Yeah, like she wouldn't bring you doing it again. Because I was used to wind Lauren up by saying, "Oh, I'm going to buy a Ouija board." You meant to like when you finish it, you meant to smash a glass or something because if you don't, then whatever
spirits are there.
yeah, they sort of remain and
Ooh.
yeah, a bit creepy.
Well, the whole idea of it is down to sort of like psychology and suggestiveness. Like if one person, because obviously the whole idea is like few of you hold the ring in the middle up, don't you?
Yeah.
So like if one person's sort of like thinking B, their hand's instinctively going to B, and then everyone else is going to be like, hold on, we're going to B, and then they think they're going to B because
Yeah.
the ghost is taking them to B, and it's like just all together sort of like it's teamwork spirit reading.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the theory behind Ouija boards.
The fact that surely if there was a ghost, you just put whatever that thing is in the middle and then nobody touch it and it'd move it amongst itself. Like, why do you all need to touch it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, also, I'm sure that like I've forgotten what their names are, but some sort of like like Hasbro.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I'm sure they own the rights to Ouija
Oh,
boards.
probably. I can imagine.
I'm
it.
sure it's like a board game owned thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, should we move on to the next one?
Oh, is this okay? I think just from the picture at the bottom, is it that one on the right?
Yeah.
Is it Siren Head?
Yeah, have you seen it?
No, I've heard of it.
So this one, I just googled horror shorts.
Yeah.
I say googled. You use the word Google, is it like that's how you search? Because this is a YouTube search. So I YouTubed horror shorts and then sorted by most viewed, and this was the number 1. So
I've heard of it.
let's watch it. But first, another message from our sponsors. I don't know whether this will stay in it.
No. Not two sponsors.
Dairy milk finger. Sign with finger.
I like the white chocolate
That's-
one.
So do I.
My favourite.
There we go. Already bigger production than the last one.
It was outside, for one.
Nice little camera pan across the lake. Feels like an episode of Death in Paradise. Do you know what I do after I've like sort of experienced paranormal shit potentially occurring?
What?
Run towards the screams.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, it would make
To be fair, my brain's automatically gone there because of the 3 horror films that we watched just leading up to this.
It would make a crap film if they ran away from it.
Yeah.
Unless it was chasing him. Was that a shoe? That shoe looked like his shoe. Like, is it gonna be something where he's like?
No, because he's not wearing a jacket, is he? What is that?
Like it has teeth.
What, in his little speaker thing?
Yeah. It's that thing you always see on you always see on the emergency broadcast thing.
Most unrealistic fake hand I've ever seen in my life. But they run fast.
I used Blender for making the character. For the animation, I used a motion capture suit by Movie.
I'm not sure what I felt about that one.
No, I did not enjoy that one.
No.
For it being the most viewed on...
157 million views as well. I've heard of Siren Head because I've heard of Slender Man.
Yeah.
Like, I think I ended up like googling about Slender Man and then that come onto this Siren Head. But yeah, that wasn't. It felt. I mean, all the others we've watched are all like very very low budget, but this one like looked low budget because
the CGI.
I don't really recommend that one.
No.
I was quite disappointed in it because I said I didn't realise there was anything like this about the Siren, so it's a shame they couldn't have done it better.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
157 million views though.
Yeah. We didn't enjoy it, but there's people out there have.
Well, exactly.
And hey, with our viewers, it's going to get up to at least 2 million. Right, should we watch the final one?
Yes.
So this one's a long one. This is 22 minutes, I believe. You say it's done by Neil Blomkamp, the
Yes.
creator of
District 9.
District 9. That's all we know about it.
I was going to say, and I couldn't name any more films that he's done either.
He did Elysium with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Don't know any more than that.
That was Alexa, lights off.
Just so you know, she didn't turn off the
No.
lights.
Alexa, lights off.
She keeps on saying, like, I feel like there genuinely is a poltergeist here now. Don't turn off the lights, Charlie.
Alexa, lights off.
There we go.
I think there's like a sci-fi thing by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think it was described as like a sci-fi horror.
Okay.
You don't fucking spell. Use your damn skills.
Oh, I recognise there. Dakota Fanning.
Is it?
Yeah. It's already A-list actors for once.
Be there.
Now pick up the fucking gun.
Very Aliens type vibe.
Yeah.
Go back to car. Grab it. Pull back.
That made me jump a bit then, that firework outside.
I'm struggling to understand what you're saying half the time.
I know. You raspy.
You saw the line and you can't out the line.
Could be like a sort of Hollywood film with a sort of
Yeah, it's a massive budget, isn't it?
set and things.
Now when we open that door.
I can't remember if they're on a spaceship or something.
Well, they're about to go outside, aren't they? So maybe it's a space station.
True. Looks like it's made up of people.
Yeah, like the body parts of people that are rendered, maybe?
Yeah.
Let's go. Move.
Really didn't have much ammo, did they?
No. She didn't really seem to aim much well. Very reliable.
Almost didn't seem the point of... It would have been better to run.
Yeah.
If I'm mistaken, though.
Was she a robot?
So I didn't notice that when they went to the UV bit, the forehead.
Yeah, I did think that. So why did that kill the handgun kill it, but that machine gun did? I don't think it's dead.
The eye.
Sounds like a goat screaming.
Yeah.
I just took that axe back with me. Probably took that hand back out as well.
Yeah, but that hand can get in.
I wonder if the hand's going to let it in. Alexa, lights on. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was very different.
Not what I expected.
No.
I felt like that could be a really good film.
Yeah, they sort of like finding out what happened before and then follow on afterwards.
Yeah.
Let's turn this off a second.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Right, so we watched all three. All three? All five.
Five.
Unless we don't count. Was it Shutterhead?
Oh,
I thought you Siren Head. I forgot his name
Siren
already.
Head, yeah.
Rubbish.
Definitely the worst one.
What was your favourite? The five?
That's a tough one. It's either going to be this one we just watched, what's it called?
Zygote.
Zygate, or the Cop Cam.
Oh, really? For me, it's either Zygote or Lights Out. The ones where the lights went out.
Oh yeah, I've got. Yeah, I mean that was good as well.
I liked what you said about sort of like in terms of the short films. I've never really watched short films before, but it gets down to sort of like the point straight away.
Yeah.
And with a horror film, the point of a horror film is to start to scare you. And it literally, from the moment it starts, horror's begun.
Yeah, and I think like sometimes with the other horror films, you're waiting a long time before you see what. Like for example, if this had been a feature film, you could be an hour and a bit into the film before you even see that, or right near the end.
Yeah. It's just something picking off people and they don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, there's things about this Zygote that I'm intrigued about. I wonder if there's like any follow-ups or anything. Because like, what's the light that he's seen that sort of like taking him from the inside and stuff like that.
But I noticed when he was like before he chopped off his thumb, when there was that or finger, there was that other dead person.
Yeah.
Or synthetic or whatever, and that there was some light that was coming. The face was obviously gone, but some light from in there.
Okay.
So I don't know. But obviously that creature likes to take body parts.
There was obviously things like, what was that alien thing on the bed that sort of like opened up that she was looking at for ages?
Oh,
and she sort of walked past it.
Yeah, I mean,
it literally looked like the alien from Alien.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of reminded me of Alien actually.
Mm.
But no, that was good. I mean, obviously a lot bigger budget that film than some of the others we've watched today, and clearly
Yeah,
very
by
well
far.
done than looking Siren Head.
Yeah. Siren Head 0, Zygote 10.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's our Halloween spectacular done. I hope you've gone away and watched those films with us. And maybe next year we'll do a similar thing, actually. I quite like the short films.
Yeah, it was good. Oh, I'm sure there's short films for any type of genre, isn't
Yeah.
there? So maybe we could explore that in the future. And if anyone's
Join
got
us
any-
next week for our Bonfire short film spectacular.
Check if there's any bonfire short films.
We're going to just watch a firework display.
Yeah.
Join us next week as we watch a firework display on YouTube. Don't, because we're not going to be coming back next week.
No, definitely not.
Don't sit there Mondays like, we haven't put out a new episode, I promise.
But,
Right, should we wrap it up there?
that we shall.
Alright, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you in, well, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've started putting out some short movie reviews again.
Oh yeah,
Season 2's begun.
When my other half started listening to the podcast, she was like, "Oh, there's a lot of episodes." I said, and she says, "Oh, has Mike just done some on his own?" I was like, "Oh no, like they're reviews of films." What do you mean? I was like, "We just done some."
Well, she's in for a treat. So, I've released Clerks 3. Did a little review on that.
On what?
Clerks 3.
The Clerks 1 or 2?
Oh, Clerks. It's done by Kevin Smith.
Oh, okay.
And you know Jay and Silent Bob?
Yes.
They're from there.
Oh, okay.
And I love the Kevin Smith films, the Viewer's Universe as they're called. So Clerks, Dogma, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, love them all.
Okay.
And this is like a perfect sort of end to this universe that started back in like '94.
Okay.
So yeah, I've done a little review of that. And I'm in the middle of watching a film called Mad God. That was recommended to me by a friend called Steph. And I texted her the other day. So I've only just watched 13 minutes of it on the bus. Okay, so I'm really not that far into it. And this is what I text her. On the bus, and I'm, 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
So far, a man has binoculars that when he zooms in, he can hear a man playing the piano and a woman being stabbed. And a giant mutant potato has chopped up a mummy with no legs and sounds like a chimp. Also following on from that, like at the 13-minute mark, he opens up a door and there's a monkey type thing on a like operating table and a porcelain doll next to it pleasuring herself.
This is a weird film.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm watching.
This is a weird film. I can't believe you were watching this on the bus.
Well, I wasn't expecting to see a porcelain doll pleasuring herself. But it's a film that got released this year on Shudder, so it's a horror film. And it's been 30 years in the making.
30 years?
30 years, and it's stop motion. And apparently it is getting rave reviews. So I'm going to stick with it, and then I'll give my review in Mike's Movie Reviews.
Okay.
So listen to that to see a very in-depth analysis on it.
Yeah, sounds interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Right, and then we'll be back with some new episodes in about a month and a half-ish.
Yeah.
Month and a half, 2 months, we'll be back with a load more episodes. Right, thanks for listening again, and have a good Halloween.
Thank you. Take care. You know what? There was a bit of a slight pause, and I was expecting. I don't know. I thought you were going to do something.